Welcome to the Fantasy Football Show on Sikkim 365 Radio, presented by Brotherwell Brewing.
It's Gronkowski back again.
Here's Paul Catalina, Steve May, and Grayson Grundhaver.
Welcome into the Fantasy Football Show here on 365 Sports NFL channel. Paul Catalina, Steve May, Grayson Grundhaver. Of course, we're brought to you by our good friends at Brotherwell Brewing. And as of this taping, you guys have no idea out there watching how badly I need this. There we go. Oh, man. That's the Act of Faith, Belgian triple. And it is fantastic. And if I didn't have to drive home, I would drink 11 of them. But
that wouldn't be good.
It probably wouldn't be good. No, it wouldn't be good. So I'm just going to keep to this one. I'm going to be good, guys. I had maybe outside of daily fantasy where I was not good in our daily fantasy this week, but maybe the best fantasy football week of my life this week, and which normally would make me confident, but now since I live in the real world, know that the storm's coming. The storm's coming. It's coming, but I had a great fantasy football week. Steve, your season is not gone as planned. In our league, I'm
4-2. I'm okay.
But I slayed.
That's good.
I slayed the last undefeated dragon.
Yes, that was good.
Yeah.
Yep. And so in there, I'm doing fine. The other league that I'm in with Jarrett from Bowling for Soup, who will be on with us next week. Mm-hmm. In that league, which I usually do well in, much higher stakes than our league. I am 1-5. I've never been that bad in that league, and that's one of those. After the draft, I send the draft results to a couple of sites that'll do an automatic, grade and high grades, looking good. I felt good about the depth, and man, it just hasn't worked out.
It's all lies from that site. Yep. Grayson, how'd you do this week?
Yeah, guys, for the second week in a row, I went 6-2.
Okay.
And it's the two leagues that I care about the most. I lost again in, and it's unfortunate. In the league that I care about probably the most of all of them, the Christian McCaffrey injury is just it's really handcuffing my team a lot. I took Trey Sermon in that league. He's killing me. Jerry Jeudy in that league. He's killing me. I had Raheem Mostert. He got hurt 2 plays into the season. So I'm 3-3 in that league, but I really need some momentum, and I'm playing the best team in the league, and of course it's the Bipocalypse, and I am missing some players, so unhappy with that. But I do have a question for y'all actually to start off the show this week. I got offered a trade in my Dynasty League, and currently I'm 4-2, and I got offered Aaron Jones and Michael Pittman, so my Aaron Jones and Michael Pittman for Jonathan Taylor and Julio Jones. What do y'all think?
I mean, it's pretty even. I like to have guys that are on good teams. And the Colts right now are not necessarily a good team, but they are going to play the Jaguars again. They're going to play the Texans again. They're going to play the Titans. Even though the Titans are probably going to win that division going away, they all have bad defenses. So those are some games you can count on him having big yards. So, I mean, that's a tough one. Steve.
Which side of that are you? What are you getting?
So I'm getting Jonathan Taylor and Julio Jones, and I just want to kind of keep in mind the Julio Jones part. He's literally just a flyer for me. On that team, I have Diggs, Godwin, Mike Williams, Jalen Waddle, Rondale Moore, Marvin Jones, Rashad Bateman. Like, he doesn't even have to play. He's kind of just a flyer, and it's a dynasty league. Jonathan Taylor.
I like Aaron Jones a lot, and Pittman has had some sparks there of some good games. So if that was me, if you're saying Julio Jones won't do much for you, then you're basically doing Taylor for those two guys.
In a dynasty league. Jones is 26 and Taylor's 22.
That changes things a little bit. I don't know. It's kind of a wash. I mean, for this year, I would not, but probably for Dynasty, I would.
Yeah, for Dynasty, especially, and Jonathan Taylor, hopefully for the Colts, isn't going anywhere, even as far as his production. He looks like he's set up for a good long run. And especially now that they Frank Reich has figured out, like, the more I give him the ball, the less Carson Wentz has to F this up for me. Which I don't know why the Eagles didn't figure that out last year. But then, yeah, I think I don't know. I might do it, especially when you're talking dynasty. Yeah, I might do it.
Yeah.
Michael Pittman Jr., though, that's one you might want in dynasty because he looks like he's on the rise. But, you know, if I'm picking between those two, which Colt to have, I'd pick the running back in Taylor.
Yeah, I would do it. I guess I would do it. Yep.
Okay. Also, a fun stat, just because I heard the shade about Carson Wentz. Best passer rating in the entire league on deep passes.
Yeah.
Carson Wentz is number 1, and the top 4 are Carson Wentz, Justin Herbert, Russell Wilson, and Josh Allen. The bottom 4 are Jared Goff, Ryan Tannehill, Davis Mills, Tua Tagovailoa. Sounds pretty accurate to me.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. I mean, look, I get it. I know that Colts fans have to be in the Carson Wentz court right now. It just, he's clearly not made of, human muscle tissue. So, I mean, it's something a lot less, sturdy. So that's why I worry about Carson Wentz. And I think he would be fine, but, he gets hurt, watching Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
He does. It's scary every time he gets hit.
Yeah, exactly. Hayden, do you have any questions for us this week on your team, and how did you do?
I got murdered by 70 points.
Ooh, man.
Yeah, I do. I thought I was going to get D'Ernest Johnson, but turns out I didn't get him, and I have a running back on a bye, and I really don't have a lot of options. So here, let me go through who's available.
Okay.
So A.J. Dillon is one that I'm thinking about picking up, and I just picked up Michael Carter.
That's good.
And then Damian Williams is available. He's out. And then McKissick. Those are the ones that I've been thinking about.
Here's the deal about McKissick. I have him on a team in our league, Steve, and I've played him twice in both weeks. He's gotten me double-digit points because the Redskins were in smoke. So.
Yep.
I would pick up McKissick right now because I don't think Antonio Gibson's going to play this week.
That's correct.
Yeah. So there you go. McKissick.
Okay. Well, I needed that advice. Thank you, guys.
All right, thank you. All right, there we go. That's Hayden. That's Hayden Bumpus.
Gibson's dealing with some kind of stress fracture, I think.
Yeah.
And he may not go this week at all.
So, I mean, McKissick might find his way into my lineup this week, which I've been having good luck with in our league so far. So,
have you not played yet in our league? I don't think we have.
I don't think we have. No.
Let me see who I play this week.
I have David this week.
Okay.
So.
Good deal.
Oh, and Hayden, if you have an extra spot and you're looking for a running back just to maybe take a flyer on for later in the year, because I like Michael Carter later, not this week, but Rashad Penny is kind of interesting because Collins is hurt, Carson's already on IR, just maybe a stash guy. If you have room, if it's a deeper league, he might be an interesting one to kind of sneak on your roster.
Actually, Steve, I lost to you when we played earlier this year.
That's right.
I lost to you. And in spite of what I thought was a pretty good run of early games.
So let me give you the roster I have in this league where I'm 1-5.
Okay.
All right. Aaron Rodgers, Kamara, Gibson, A.J. Brown, T. Higgins, Kyle Pitts, Thielen, Pittman, Zach Moss. That's a damn good team.
Yeah.
I mean, pretty solid. And this is a league we got rid of the defense, thankfully. So I also have Devonta Smith. I got Mooney, and it's just my they just don't they're not coming through for me.
Yeah.
You know what you have, Steve? You have a lot of guys who have huge weeks, and then bad weeks, and they're probably just not aligning for you. And then, of course, A.J. Brown was out for a while.
Yeah, that's right.
Fortunately.
Yeah, he did look good the other night, thankfully. So hopefully that's a sign of things to come.
Well, the Titans have their offensive line's bad, but they should be fine. All that. I mean, like, it just, I don't know. Of course, their offensive line's not good, and then Taylor Lewan got a concussion the other night and had to cart him off the field. So that's not going to make him any better. No. So I don't know. Like, Grayson, before we get to start him, sit him in the next segment, you mentioned the bye-pocalypse, which is, you got a bunch of guys on bye, which kind of happens. Like, so I intentionally try not to draft guys from the same team, but if you can start, you see things in free agency, well, look, the Chargers are really good, so I'm going to grab a if I can get this guy from the Chargers and play him, and Justin Herbert's good, well, Justin Herbert's my quarterback in one league.
Yeah.
Well, I might also not necessarily have a starter, but I have some backups to the Chargers. So that means that my backups that week are out. I've got a couple. Look, I wasn't having good luck with the tight end. I have CeeDee Lamb and Dalton Schultz. CeeDee Lamb was drafted. Dalton Schultz was just sitting out there. So I picked up Dalton Schultz. Well, now I have to replace a wide receiver and a tight end in that league. Mm-hmm. So it makes it even harder.
Yeah, during the draft, I pay zero attention to the bye weeks except for quarterback.
Yeah,
if I'm getting 2 quarterbacks, I'll try to make sure they're on different weeks. But other than that, I pay no attention to it. It's just one of those things. I want to get the best team I can, and I'll deal with the bye weeks when they pop up. So this week, with 7 teams are on bye, I think. Is that right? 6 or 7. Everybody's getting hit for the most part. So it's just whoever can work the waiver wire the best. And, if your draft turned out to be, fairly good and you get lucky on the bye weeks, you've got some depth there to help cover you.
All right, guys, I have one more question. I have rostered Curtis Samuel in 2 of the leagues because I really like him, and I thought in Ron Rivera's, it's time to just let him go, right?
Yeah.
Just let him go. Yeah,
Yeah, he's done.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate because I thought it was going to work out. He was really great for me last year with the Panthers, but he hasn't played a lick, and he played 1 game and then got hurt again. He's not going to play this week, so I will be keeping Brandon Ayuk, who I also have. I have both of them, and so Brandon Ayuk lives to see another week in Paul's roster.
This is the week, Paul, against the Colts. This is the week. The Colts secondary can be definitely beaten. And so if Ayuk is going to have any success the rest of the year, I think you got to see it this week, or else I think it'll be time to move on, especially coming off the bye week.
He's not going to be in our league, Steve, and I don't think he's going to be in the other one unless somebody gets hurt between now and then. So, yeah, over Devontae Adams and Chris Godwin, and my flex on that one is Khalil Herbert, who's playing maybe he's playing the Bucks. So I don't know. We'll see.
Ayuk over Herbert. Personal opinion.
I would too.
But
all right. Well, I'm doing it right there. Boom. Move is made. But I also have Hunter Renfrow in that league on the bench. So I'm patiently waiting for Jerry Jeudy to come back, and then I'm going to wreck that league.
Yep.
So that's what I hope. Okay, when we come back, we'll dive into Stardom Sit-'em here on the Fantasy Football Show, brought to you by Brotherwell Brewing down on Bridge Street, just down the road from us. Like, I'm drinking the Bridge Street Wit right now.
No, you're not.
No, I'm not. That's the Bridge Street of it right there. I'm drinking the Act of Faith.
Yes.
And the Red Sox are down 7-1 at this taping in Game 5 of that series. You're going to see this later. Just know that that's why if I seem a little off, that's why. That's why.
Same here.
Because the Red Sox are one of the few things in life that brings me true joy and pain. And today it's the other one. It's the bad one. When we come back, Stardom Sit-'em. This is the Fantasy Football Show on 365 Sports.
Life is back on, sports bettors, and BetUS has your NBA, NHL, Major League Baseball, UFC, PGA, and yes, NFL betting lines up for their 27th year and live betting on all of it. Log into BetUS.com or call 800-792-3887. That's 800-79-BETUS. BetUS for 125% bonuses with promo code SICK'EM125. Customer service pros are ready to get your phone, social, and online sports betting kickoff started now. Play with the proven mainstay in the industry. BetUS. You bet, you win, you get paid. BetUS.com. Use promo code SICK'EM125.
From the first workout to the last practice, sports is an incredible challenge. Hi, this is Dan Ingham with the First National Bank of Central Texas, and we're proud to support each athlete, every parent, and our educators. From families, small businesses, to the biggest industry, we're here to help. With remarkable products like First Free Checking, we've got banking ideas that fuel big dreams. The First National Bank of Central Texas. Familiar faces making local decisions.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Welcome back into the Fantasy Football Show here on 365 Sports. Paul Kennelly, Steve May, Grayson and Grundhaver, brought to you by Brotherwell Brewing. All right, guys, let's dive in. Stardom Sit-'em. Let's see.
I think it's my turn to go first.
I think it's your turn to go first, Steve. In spite of you're not going first in our draft in the next segment.
No,
you did not listen to any of our advice, and you went completely rogue and you did what you wanted to do, and
I did.
you cost us at least $2.
Yeah.
So, all right, start them, sit them, quarterbacks, Steve.
Alrighty. So as we talked about, a lot of people on a bye week this week. So I like Ryan Tannehill. Tennessee's playing Kansas City. We've talked ad nauseum about the Kansas City defense, so Tannehill has a good matchup there. If you're digging down a little bit further, Tua, Miami against Atlanta. The Atlanta secondary is horrible. Tua looked really good last week. Him and Waddle seem to have a good connection.
Although there are trade rumors surrounding him right now, and Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
So let's see how that affects him over the next week or so.
Anybody that trades for Watson right now is an idiot because you don't know what's going to happen with his legal situation. But anyway, for this week, Tua looked pretty good. I would avoid where'd he go here? Well, Baker was going to be on my list, but they've already pulled him for tomorrow night.
Yeah.
So Case Keenum, I would avoid Case Keenum because he's Case Keenum. And then not that you would be playing. Well, let me go back up here. Heineke, Washington against Green Bay. Heineke was kind of a disappointment last week when he should have really been someone that was near the top going against Kansas City. Didn't perform that well. Green Bay's defense is better. So I would avoid Heineke.
And they just signed Whitney Merciless, who
Yes.
I don't know if he'll play this week or not, but it's early enough in the week where he could see some time, although Jalen Smith took a week before he got active. Grayson, who you got quarterbacks?
Yeah, so Steve mentioned Tua, and I like Tua this week, but I also really like the quarterback on the other side, which is Matt Ryan. I think Matt Ryan could be in line to have a big start. He's going to get Calvin Ridley back. He actually looks like he's playing pretty well as the season has gone on, had the bye week. So I think with Kyle Pitts getting going, I think that will be really nice. Also, this will probably be nice to Steve. Steve will like this. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to absolutely go off against the Washington football team this week. The football team's pretty good against the run, but they are horrible against the pass. So Aaron Rodgers, he might be in line to be a top 3 quarterback, but unfortunately Patrick Mahomes against Tennessee and Kyler Murray against Houston are probably going to finish a little ahead of him.
From your lips to the fantasy god's ears. So.
Yeah, there you go. My sits this week at the quarterback position, I am not playing Daniel Jones versus the Panthers. His number 2 wide receiver this week is probably going to be Dante Pettis, and I want no part of that against Matt Rule and Phil Snow's defense there in Carolina. And I'm also a little worried about Joe Burrow this week against the Ravens. The Ravens defense looks like they got refocused after that game against the Colts and played really, really well against Justin Herbert. So I'm a little concerned about him this week.
All right, running backs. Grayson, you go there.
Okay, at the running back position, an interesting one, a guy who's kind of, he's had a bad year, but I think he'll get it together a little bit. Miles Sanders this week against the Raiders. His only issue is the simple fact that Jalen Hurts continues to score touchdowns on the ground at a very high level. So, but I think Sanders falls in the end zone this week. It's just a hunch. The Raiders' run defense is pretty bad. So I think he could be a pretty nice start. Daryl Henderson's going to be a top 5 start this week against the Lions. I'm sure he's playing everywhere, but I love him this week. We mentioned J.D. McKissick against Green Bay. Green Bay pretty good against running backs, but not great against pass-catching running backs. And I think McKissick could have a pretty nice week in that matchup. And then as far as sits go, we mentioned Michael Carter. I'm a little worried about him against the Patriots this week. I know it's coming off the bye, but I just don't trust them against the Patriots, and unfortunately, I think it's going to hurt Michael Carter this week. And I'm also a little bit, this is one of those good matchups, but don't play them type things, and that's Myles Gaskin. I have to see it. It seems like they don't have a lot of trust in him. I know he plays Atlanta, but very concerned there. And then the final one's Khalil Herbert against Tampa Bay. I would try everything I can to not play him against the top run defense in the NFL.
All right, Steve, your running backs.
My running backs this week, I like Chuba Hubbard, Carolina against that Giants defense. I think that's a good play. I also like Darrell Williams, Kansas City. He ran it really hard, looked good against Tennessee. And also like Damian Harris, Patriots against the Jets. I would expect the Patriots to win that game, probably get up. Mac Jones has been looking pretty good. I think they'll get a lead, and Damian Harris could benefit from that. I am sitting. Josh Jacobs just really hasn't looked that great this year. I know the Philly defense isn't that stout.
All right, brings me to a thing. I have J.D. McKissick and Josh Jacobs. What would you do?
Oh man.
I mean, in a flex spot because I'm starting Williams.
Well,
and
if Gibson doesn't play, which I don't think he is, I would start McKissick over Jacobs at this point.
It's pretty crazy, guys, but so far this year, he's finished RB 14, 31, 21, 20. So, I mean, most times you're getting an RB2, but McKissick, if Gibson's not there, is probably right around the same. I like the pass catching of McKissick, especially since they'll be down. So I might lean McKissick also.
Yeah.
All right, there you go. Put him in.
And I'm going to disagree with Grayson on Miles Sanders. Again, just that running situation there in Philly is who knows what it is. You still got Gainwell in the mix. Hurts is the main running back. So if you can, I would sit Sanders. But, if you have Sanders, chances are you got some people on bye week, so you may just be forced to play him.
All right, wide receivers, Steve, to you.
Receivers I like this week. There's someone else I wanted to mention really quick. Oh, back on running backs, just real quick. Elijah Mitchell with the 49ers should be back. I think that's a good play also. So receivers who I like. Robert Woods scored a touchdown last week. Praise Yahweh. So they are playing Detroit. So I like Robert Woods this week again. Going down the list of the normal suspects. I do like, we already talked about Miami. I like Jalen Waddle this week against Atlanta. I think that's a great matchup. Also like Jacoby Myers, again, in that Patriots-Jets matchup. I think that could be a good play there. A couple that I do not like this week. Devonta Smith is kind of falling out of favor with me. That whole Philly offense is just odd. You can't pick from week to week who's going to be the main person other than Hurts. So Smith, if you have someone else better, plug them in there. And then where'd he go? Even though I wanted him for my captain last week, Mike Evans has just been too up and down here lately. I should have known better last week. So again, if you have a better option against Chicago, I would sit Mike Evans.
All right, what do you got, Grayson?
Yeah, I got a guy who's ready to get back on track, much like Robert Woods has over the past couple weeks. And I might regret saying this, but I think it's finally time in a good matchup. Allen Robinson. I'm taking my shot here. I think Allen Robinson has a good week this week against Tampa Bay. Finally, he has been very, very disappointing this year, but I think he'll have a good week. Steve mentioned Jalen Waddle. I really like Jalen Waddle this week. I mentioned that I don't like Daniel Jones this week, but I still really like Sterling Shepard just because he's probably going to get 10 targets this week, and all their receivers are hurt. I mean, it's unbelievable what's going on in New York right now, but I think Sterling Shepard's a pretty good play. And then another one that might come up on our Thursday night preview, but I really like Cortland Sutton this week. This will probably be his last game without Jerry Jeudy there, and I think that Browns defense can be beat through the air. As far as sits go, I'll make this quick. I'm not playing Odell Beckham Jr., and I'm not playing Tyler Boyd for the foreseeable future. I need to see something from those guys before I play them again. And then I'm also, you have to play them. I get it. But I'm very worried about DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett this week. I have a lot of concerns about Geno Smith, and I think both of those guys are going to be really, really impacted over the next few weeks till Russ is back. As we saw the first week that they were out, and I think one of them will be really bad and one might just be okay. So just be careful with that, and I would try to find another option, especially for Lockett.
Here's how bad Geno Smith is. So we know Wilson is out. He's been ruled out for like the next 3 weeks. But in daily fantasy, Russell Wilson is still more than Geno Smith, even though we know that Geno Smith is the starter there. You mentioned Allen Robinson. I think he showed up on an injury report today, I think. as questionable. That doesn't mean a ton, but I think that popped up on one of my alerts.
Let me see. Yeah. I'll check it right here. I don't. He didn't practice on Wednesday with the ankle, but it's the same ankle that he played through in week 6.
Yep. I do think tight ends are worth mentioning.
Okay, go ahead.
This week, just because, again, we got so many people on a bye week. I'll give you a quick play and a quick sit. I like Zac Ertz this week with Arizona. It's his first game. So I do think they'll try to reward him and include him in the offense some. So I think he'll get some targets and maybe even into the end zone. And then I'm going to sit. Where'd he go? Hawkinson, if you can. Detroit against the Rams. The Rams' defense is pretty strong against tight end. So, but chances are if you have him, he's probably your only option, but not looking for a good game for him.
All right, that's going to do it. What do you got? Do you have any tight ends there, Grayson?
Yeah, I mean, I'll just really quick. I'm really excited to see what Dallas Goddard can do now that Zac Ertz isn't there. I think he's going to move up into probably that top 8 position. And if you're going to take a flyer, an interesting one, and, the Colts are an interesting team. They play with a lot of tight ends, but I like Mo Alley Cox this week. He's going to be a touchdown or bust guy. That's just simply what he is. But I think there's a chance he could fall into the end zone this week against the Niners, who aren't great against tight ends, or at least they haven't been so far this year.
By the way, speaking of tight ends, Ricky Seals-Jones just popped up on the injury report, missed practice today with a quadriceps injury. So he's questionable, so we'll see with him. And he is my bye-week tight end, guys. So
is Logan Thomas still out?
Yeah, he's out. I think he's on IR.
Okay.
A couple more weeks.
Yeah, he's on IR. So, all right, when we come back, daily fantasy, and we draft and try to get back the glory of maybe winning $4. This is the Fantasy Football Show on Sikkim 365 Radio and 365 Sports, brought to you by Brotherwell Brewing.
Life is back on, sports bettors, and BetUS has your NBA, NHL, Major League Baseball, UFC, PGA, and yes, NFL betting lines up for their 27th year and live betting on all of it. Log into BetUS.com or call 800-792-3887. That's 800-79-BETUS. BetUS for 125% bonuses with promo code SICK'EM125. Customer service pros are ready to get your phone, social, and online sports betting kickoff started now. Play with the proven mainstay in the industry. BetUS. You bet, you win, you get paid. BetUS.com. Use promo code SICK'EM125.
From the first workout to the last practice, sports is an incredible challenge. Hi, this is Dan Ingham with the First National Bank of Central Texas, and we're proud to support each athlete, every parent, and our educators. From families, small businesses, to the biggest industry, we're here to help. With remarkable products like First Free Checking, we've got banking ideas that fuel big dreams. The First National Bank of Central Texas. Familiar faces making local decisions.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Welcome back into the Fantasy Football Show here on 365 Sports. Please like and subscribe whenever you do. If you don't, all your beer will taste like sadness. It's going to happen. I don't make the rules. I just know them.
All your beer will be warm.
It'll be warm and will taste like it came from the dumpster behind a restaurant. That's what'll happen. So you have to like and subscribe. Please like and subscribe. Share. Listen, why we don't share with the world happy, positive things? The next time you see like a meme about politics, you're like, yeah, I don't need to share that. I'm going to share this show. Like, don't do that.
That's good. That's good life hack.
Exactly. Don't share those things. Share this. You're just going to make yourself mad, and that's what Facebook wants. All right. Daily fantasy, guys. Good values. Steve, we'll start with you, even though I don't trust your daily fantasy expertise as far as I can throw it.
Here's what I need to show you my balance on the sites. It's like in that one league that I'm setting up, I would keep picking the wrong lineup because I'll usually pick. I'll set 2 or 3, and then I'll throw those out into various contests. And for whatever reason, the one I'm putting in that one isn't doing well. So here are some good values. I actually kind of like Jameis Winston. He's at 5,900 going against Seattle. Seattle's defense hasn't been that great. I actually had to pick Jameis up in a season-long league because I have I can't remember who's the quarterback again. So many leagues it's hard to keep track of, but I had to buy for my quarterback, so Jameis is going in. Tua is only 5,500. Mac Jones, if you want to go cheap and build up around him, is only 5,300. So I think those are some good quarterback plays.
All right, what do you got, Grayson?
Yeah, I really like Matt Ryan for 5,700, and I believe Tua right below him is at 5,500.
Yeah,
so
yep.
I like both of them this week. I think they would be really nice starts. At the running back position, I'm actually fine with having two of your options be kind of cheaper options this week. There's a few good ones, but the ones that really come to mind are J.D. McKissick for 5,000. That is a steal, in my opinion, especially if Gibson doesn't play. James Conner and Chase Edmonds are both 5,600. I honestly think both could have good games against the Texans. Really bad defense there. And then also Mike Davis at 5,200 is a pretty nice value as well to save you some money so you can spend on a guy like Derrick Henry against the Chiefs, which is probably what I'm going to do in a lot of my leagues.
All right. What do you have for, running backs over here, Steve?
Running backs, yeah. I mean, gosh, Derrick Henry going against Kansas City. It's in Tennessee. That's so tempting to spend up, but he's 9,200. So if you go that route, you gotta really go cheap for your other running back and probably for your receivers. But if you're looking to be more economical, I already mentioned Elijah Mitchell, 5,100 coming in. I think he's back and has a good game against Indy. Grayson already mentioned Chase Edmonds at 5,600. I think that's a good deal. And then McKissick at 5,000. That's if Gibson doesn't play, then just about every one of my lineups will have McKissick in there.
All right, what do you got there, Grayson? For wide receivers.
Receivers.
Oh, for me? Okay,
Yeah.
So at the wide receiver spot, Allen Robinson, 5,100. I'm putting him in every single lineup. 5,100 is very cheap, and yeah, I'm taking a risk, but I also think people are just scared to play him, so I might be the only one with Allen Robinson in my lineup. Also, another way to save money, how about McCole Hardman at 4,300 against Tennessee Titans? I think that is, again, stealing. I think you're going to get targets. You're going to get production. Jacoby Myers for 5,300 is another one to save up on. But in most of my leagues, I think there is one name that I'm for sure going to go after and spend a little bit, maybe a little bit more on them. Well, there's two. Devontae Adams, 8,900. I know that's really expensive, but if you can find some cheap options and stack him with an elite running back, I like that. And also Calvin Ridley for 6,600 against the Dolphins to stack him with Matt Ryan would be really nice.
All right, Steve.
Yep, receivers. I love the Calvin Ridley. 6,600 seems like a reasonable price for what he should do against Miami. And then a little bit cheaper, Michael Pittman's only 5,100. Grayson mentioned Jacoby Myers at 5,300. I'm going to go on the other side of the lineup there against Robinson. I'm going to go with Darnell Mooney for Chicago. He's coming in at 4,600. And I think, so far through his first couple of starts, it seems to me that Justin Fields is building some, relationship with Mooney there. Always a threat for a long one. Justin Fields can really chunk it. So I will probably have Mooney in some lineups as well.
All right. Let's get down to the main event, guys.
All right.
The absolute thing that everybody comes to this show for is this actual segment right here, where we draft a team, and Hayden Bumpus is now involved in this. So
people take the roster that we pick and go exactly the opposite and win.
That's what they do.
Tons of money.
All right. So since Steve completely pooed the bed on the pick last week, I think we should let young Hayden do it this week.
All right.
For the captain's pick, are you ready for him to pick the captain?
Yeah.
Now, here's an interesting
Broncos and Browns.
Broncos and Browns.
Yeah.
Baker Mayfield is out. Yep. Teddy Bridgewater is questionable. Nick Chubb is out. Kareem Hunt is out. Jerry Jeudy's been out the whole year. Let's see. Odell Beckham Jr. is questionable. Landry, Jarvis Landry, been out the whole year. So there are some very did I say Kareem Hunt? He's out.
Yeah.
So out. All these guys are out. Case Keenum will be starting at quarterback for Cleveland. So this is a really interesting one.
Bridgewater's going to play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's questionable, meaning that and he's very frail, so that meaning one hit could take that guy out of the game. Meaning I'm not. This is a democracy. I'm not taking Teddy Bridgewater.
Okay.
We make Case Keenum maybe the quarterback we take, but it says Hayden, and this is his second week doing this. He did some research.
Last week the lineups that won a lot of money had two tight ends in their lineup. Those were the ones that won.
Okay. So Hayden, your first pick.
Okay, I was not prepared to be the captain's pick, but I think I'm going to go with D'Ernest Johnson.
Okay.
He's 6,900 where I see you. How much is he on
6,900. So there you go.
How does everyone feel about that? I need to read the room.
Yeah. Hey, 43,100 left to go on the roster.
So a little contrarian, which is what you need to win.
Okay. All right. Let's go Grayson next.
Yeah, we're going to spend up on this one because I feel really good about it. We're going to take Cortland Sutton with this one.
There you go. Okay.
Go ahead.
Me or
no?
Do I want to give you two picks in a row, Steve? I don't know. All right. I am. Let's see.
I'll do one, and then it'll finish with Grayson and.
Okay.
Hayden.
Okay.
That's my punishment.
That's your punishment. The Cleveland defense isn't bad. The Denver defense isn't really that good. I'm going to roll the dice. You know what? Since you said tight ends, I'll take Noah Fant.
Okay.
I'll take Noah Fant because I'm sure Noah Fant, even if Drew Lock comes in, will catch some passes. Steve, go ahead.
All right. So I'm not picking Case Keenum.
Okay.
I will go Peoples-Jones.
There you go. It's 6,400. We still have 18,500 to spend.
Ooh.
So that will go to, let's see, do we want to give Hayden the last pick?
Sure. He might be our lucky charm.
We'll give him the
He's been
last
sitting
pick.
right in front of us, and we didn't.
Yeah. All right, Grayson, your pick.
Ooh. Dang, we got a lot of money left.
Yeah.
Man, I really want to pick the Broncos defense because of Case Keenum, but then it's like I'm going against D'Ernest Johnson a little bit. So why don't we just hope this is an offensive game? And I'm going to go with the guy who's been the better running back for Denver as far as points go this season. So I'm going to go with Melvin Gordon this week.
Melvin Gordon. Okay. Hayden, it's all on you, buddy.
How much we got left?
We have 11,100.
All right, give me some options.
And we don't have a quarterback.
So here are our options.
My head is at Case Keenum, but
okay. Case Keenum is at 9,400. Tim Patrick is at 7,600. Javonte Williams is at 7,000. David Njoku.
Bridgewater is 11.
Yeah, Bridgewater's 11.
how confident are we that Bridgewater is going to play the whole game?
Pretty confident, but
yeah. So I mean, yeah, we could take Bridgewater. I mean, like it's on you, Hayden.
I don't like this spot. All right, let's go Bridgewater. We'll do it.
Okay, we'll do it. All right.
That's a good lineup.
That's a good lineup. We have $100 left over. And D'Ernest Johnson at the top, who's, was just sitting around thinking like, man, what's my life? And now he starts on a Thursday night against the Denver Broncos. All righty.
We're in.
We're in. Okay, that's our team. D'Ernest Johnson, Teddy Bridgewater, Noah Fant, Melvin Gordon, Donovan Peoples-Jones, and Cortland Sutton.
Giving you permission, if for some odd reason Bridgewater gets called out before the game starts, throw in Case Keenum.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. The pride of Stephenville, Texas, Case Keenum. One of the many excellent high school quarterbacks that came out of Stephenville, Texas. All right, that's going to do it for us here on the Fantasy Football Show. One last sip, at least for you guys, of the Brotherwell.
What's the score of the Red Sox game? Is it over?
It's over. I don't know what the score is. I quit following. It's not worth me crying about right now. And plus, this is most people watch this on tape delay, so we don't need to get into my pain. Thanks to Steve May, thanks to Hayden Bumpus, and of course to Grayson Grundhofer. Please like and subscribe when you can, when you watch this video. Share it. You know, it's good. It'll help world peace. I'm just telling you right now, you sharing this video is a lot closer to world peace than we would be if you didn't. That's a fact.
That's true.
That's
next
a
week,
fact.
celebrity
guest next week. Big time celebrity fantasy football guest. This is the Fantasy Football Show, brought to you by Brotherwell Brewing on 365 Sports.